joining us this afternoon. My co-chair for the event I want to introduce is Maida Rahmanovich. And this is our 9th annual Florida Muslim Capital Day, so we're really excited to be here at the Capitol. And I want to recognize a few groups that are here with us today. You know, as you may know, the Florida Muslim community is very diverse. We represent many different ethnicities and backgrounds of people, and we have lots of groups that participate as a coalition within the Florida Muslim Capital Day. So we have the Council on American Islamic Relations that is working in this group, Emerge USA. We have Florida Immigrant Coalition, Latina Advocacy Network. We have Planned Parenthood, and most of all, I want to thank Representative Robert Asensio for sponsoring this event for us, this press conference this afternoon. So without further ado, I would like to invite Representative Robert Asensio to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor and a pleasure to stand here before you and host the Muslim Day on the Capitol, as I feel that it is a reflection of our community. We stand here today in unity with our Islamic brothers, Muslim brothers and sisters, as well as those from all other faiths, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist. We are here because what our nation represents is unity. And in unity, we must understand all of the people that are here in this country. But importantly, our brothers and sisters who are Muslim of the Muslim faith come from all walks of life. We have Hispanics who are Muslims. We have people that come from other nations, Europeans, not just people from the Middle East. And it is many Muslims, as in my district, we have several mosques, as the Islamic School of Miami, that contributes immensely to our community. We have doctors, students who go on to become doctors, engineers, business owners, productive members of society, people who contribute not just economically, but are a vital part of our democratic system, people who live within the laws of this nation, they're abiding citizens, they're contributing. So we must stand together in unity against legislation that would otherwise discriminate against those who seek to live in our country and abide by our laws. To give an example, there are over 3.3 million Muslims in this country. That's a phenomenal force. As I said earlier, we have thousands of mosques throughout the U.S. And the irony is that Morocco was the first country in the eastern part of this world that recognized the U.S. independence. Now think about that. Our brothers and sisters of the Islamic faith, Muslim faith, were the first to recognize our democratic country, our republic, independence of our republic. And for that, I stand in unity with those who have come up. I welcome you. Take advantage of the Capitol. This is your house, as it is the house of the people. And together, we will do what we can do to protect our rights, the rights of all. So with that, I will turn it back over to you and tell you thank you for this opportunity, and I'm here as your servant.
Robert, thank you, Representative Asensio. You have been a great supporter of the community, and we greatly appreciate that, and we stand behind you. Next, I would like to call upon Hassan Shibli, who is the Executive Director for the Council on American Islamic Relations.
Thank you. Thank you, Ghazala. Thank you, dear friends, brothers and sisters of various faiths, various backgrounds, various cultures who come here today to show the greatness of our country, that our greatness is found through the strength of our diversity and our unity and our commitment to stand for justice for all people, regardless of their race or their religion or ethnicity. That is what makes America great. Indeed, over the last year, it has been a very challenging time for the American Muslim community. We've documented an over 500% increase in anti-Muslim hate crimes and incidents of discrimination. But frankly, it's been a hard time, I think, for women in this country. It's been a hard time for African Americans, Latino Americans. It's been a hard time for a lot of people. And ultimately, what the last year has shown us is that hatred does not do our country any good. It only leads to an increase in civil rights violations, it leads to an increase in hate crimes, an increase in undermining the fundamental principles of liberty and justice that make our nation one of the best places in the world to live in. However, seeing many people gather today to stand with their elected officials who proudly stand with us and reaffirm their commitment for justice and equality and unity gives us hope that we will overcome these challenges and we will make America greater together. So thank you, and God bless you, and God bless America. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much. Next, I would like to recognize and welcome Representative Carlos Smith-Guillermo, if you can say a few words.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum. It's great to be here. Welcome to my brothers and sisters in the struggle here in the Capitol. It's great to see Brother Hassan Shibli here. One of the last times that we met was on the darkest day in the city of Orlando's history on June 12th. And I remember when we all stood proudly together at the offices for CAIR-Florida in Orlando in solidarity against hatred, against bigotry, against violence, and against terrorism. I'm so proud to be standing with this community because we have so much at stake this year because many members of the legislature have unfortunately fallen by the wayside in the way of bigotry and racism. And what they have done is they have been advocating for proposals that are hostile towards other religions, they are hostile towards immigrants, and that's why we're standing here today to say enough. We're standing here to say that we are going to oppose hate crimes of all kinds. We're standing here today to say that we are going to oppose the Trump-style immigration bills that are being brought forward, that we are going to oppose efforts to create two different types of criminal justice systems, one that treats immigrants completely differently, and that we are also going to be here to oppose efforts to eliminate the critical and vital refugee resettlement programs such as the ones that are being pushed forward in this legislature. But make no mistake, we're also here to stand against all phobias. We're going to oppose homophobia, we're going to oppose transphobia, and we're going to also oppose xenophobia and oppose Islamophobia. That's what we're here to say today. I applaud those folks who are here in the Capitol to oppose all of the things we just mentioned, but also to support the very good bills that are being brought forward this session, some of which unfortunately have not been given a hearing. I was proud to join with Senator Victor Torres this year to file what we call the Florida Trust Act. And what the Trust Act does is it says something very clearly, which is that no state agency or no entity of government in Florida is going to share information with ICE officials or share information for any type of national registry that would be a registry based on one's religion, based on one's national origin, their immigration status. So we would basically say with this bill, there will be no Muslim ban that Florida would participate in. But the reason we called it the Trust Act is because we also want to ensure that relationships between immigrant communities and law enforcement are relationships that are based on trust. That people who are victims of crime, people who have witnessed crimes, can feel the confidence to step forward and work with law enforcement to have those crimes be prosecuted and not fear that they will be deported simply because they have stepped forward to work with law enforcement, and those relationships need to be based on trust. So I'm proud to be here with my Muslim and Islamic brothers and sisters today. I applaud them for their work, and I'm just very, very proud to see everyone here in the Capitol. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Guillermo's, and I just would like to reflect on that and say that as a Muslim community, a faith-based community, our values are informed by our faith, which is to stand for peace, justice, and equity for all, and therefore we're here advocating against a few bills that are bad, not just for our community, but for the Florida community on a whole, at large. So with that said, I'd like to invite Rasha Mubarak to talk about the 3 bills that we're here to advocate for. Oh, welcome. We see Senator Farmer has joined us, and we want to thank him. And I would like to invite him to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to be here to lend my support to my Muslim brothers and sisters. One of my best friends was born in Lebanon, and so I've been exposed. I spent a summer in Dearborn, Michigan, so I've been very much exposed to Muslim culture and faith, and I just I feel for the trying times that we're in right now. We need more love and less hate, and it's just so un-American when people are vilified over a religious belief, and to cast such a wide net of dispersion just simply based on faith is antithetical to everything this country stands for. And so I know right now we have so many of my comrades in the Senate who are in the Appropriations Committee that can't leave, and others, but I think I speak for the vast majority of my colleagues here that we appreciate you. We are sorry for all that you've been enduring lately, and we are thankful for you being here and raising awareness. And I think just comfort level and people getting to know each other a little bit better can only improve relations and improve the atmosphere in which we all live. So I can't thank you all enough for all you do for our communities, and I hope that we can all work together again to bring more love and understanding and less hate and dispersion. So thank you very much.
So I'd like to continue with Rasha Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim and non-Muslim brothers and sisters. My name is Rasha Mubarak. I am the Central Florida Regional Director at CAIR-Florida, newly appointed to be taking over the state legislation at CAIR-Florida, so I'm excited to be more in Tallahassee. I also want to introduce Tiff Hamida to the panel, to the podium with me. He works for Emerge USA. He's been working tirelessly on fighting a lot of these bills. And so CAIR-Florida and Emerge USA have been working tirelessly with our co-chairs, Ghazala Sam, who's been a mentor and a true role model for all of us Muslim and non-Muslims in MIDA. So thank you guys for working so hard. I have to say that, and I have to take time to say that. So some of the bills that we are focusing on that I'll talk about is HB 697. And this bill is pushing city officials enforcing sanctuary city policies. Like Representative Carlos Guillermo has said, that we've been working hard in Central Florida, working closely with our coalition partners, with our Latino communities, FLIC, Mi Familia Vota, and Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith, and Senator Vic Torres, and ensuring that pushing something like the Florida Trust Act. This does not make us less safe. In fact, there's statistics that show that there's not a significant change from the Obama administration and the new administration in deporting. There's only about a couple hundred difference. So the difference is the rhetoric, and this becomes a rhetoric against immigrants. It creates fear and division within our immigrant community. This also targets the women and children who are fearful to call 911 for emergencies. So this is creating not only fear and division, but it's also separating many of the families. So we urge people to vote no on this bill. The next bill is HB 427. It's a bill rejecting money for refugee assistance programs. We also urge you to vote no on this crucial piece of legislation because we've seen refugee have been a net positive for not just the state of Florida, but across the country. We only take in 1% of refugees. Many of the refugees are from the Caribbean, and this kind of rhetoric is Islamophobic, xenophobic, and many of the refugees that are coming in obviously are going through this rigorous system, and many of the 1992 Iraqi refugees are still coming in and arriving. So we're taking very small amounts of refugees, including the Syrian refugees. So this is hateful, and this is xenophobic and Islamophobic, and we're urging that you vote no on this bill. And I do want to invite Saif Hamida to discuss the last bill.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So, as members of the Muslim community, we don't only advocate for the Muslim community. We are a part of the economy, we are a part of our environment, we are a part of the civic structure of this society. And that's why we have to take care of not only our community, but the state as a whole. Florida is extremely important to me personally, and I know Florida is extremely important to maybe everyone standing behind me. And one of Florida's treasures is our natural environment. That's why we have to stand in favor of a bill banning fracking, which is SB 442. Now, the reason that we have to do it is because Florida sits on a large piece of limestone, meaning that if fracking is done in the state of Florida, chemicals, acid, can go into our drinking water supply, affecting everyone. Also, I mean, if you're on the 22nd floor, if you're anywhere in the state of Florida, from the beaches of Sarasota to the Apalachicola National Forest, you know how special Florida's nature is. It's truly beautiful. If we ruin that, if we ruin our environment, we not only lose a precious gem, but one of the driving economic factors of our economy. So many members of the Muslim community and so many Floridians rely on tourism to feed their families, to make a living. And if we ruin our gem, which is Florida's beautiful environment, our beautiful beaches, our just incredible landscape, then we ruin an industry that most of us use to survive in the state. So that's why it's not only the right thing to do, the moral thing to do, but also the economically sound thing to do, is to stand in favor of a bill banning fracking. And I'm lucky to stand with one of the co-sponsors of this bill in the Senate. So I'd like to thank Senator Farmer for co-sponsoring this bill.
Thank you, Rasha, and thank you, Saif, for that. I would like to recognize a couple of other members that just walked in. Representative Amy Mercado is here, and Representative Cortez. So I'd like to invite them both to say a few words. I'll invite Ms. Mercado to say a few words.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. I actually am just here in support of, obviously, all the things that are important to all of us, and to be quite honest, is just our families, to make sure that they're safe, they're protected, they're well educated, and they have a place to call home. So I'm thankful and proud to be here with my brothers and sisters. Thank you.
I just want to say hello to everyone. I want to concur with Representative Mercado. We're here to support everyone. We just don't do one entity. We do everybody. That's the main goal. This is why it's called America. This is Florida's becoming diversified, and we need to help everyone. And fracking is not helping anybody. So let's get this ban on. Let's get this bill going. Everybody support it. I don't care who you are, what entity you are. This is going to affect everyone. Water, without water, we don't survive. So thank you, and please support it.
I'd like to invite Representative Campbell, who had to leave, Senator Campbell, so she'll just say a shout out, a few words.
Greetings, salam alaikum. I greet my brothers and sisters in the Muslim faith. My name is Faye Dalika, and I'm here on behalf of Senator Daphne Campbell of Miami-Dade County, District 38. She does stand in solidarity with the Muslim brothers and sisters here in Florida, and actually throughout the country. It is an opportunity for us to say that if it's not the Muslim community, it was someone else before. Being someone of Haitian descent, as well as the senator being from Haiti, we will also too in a similar situation. So we stand here, we will continue to stand in solidarity and be there to support. You do have an ally from Senator Campbell, and we look forward to being of service in any way. Thank you again.
Thank you. And I just spotted two people here that I have to recognize who are the founding members of the Florida Muslim Capital Day. Ahmed Badir, who is the founder of the Florida Muslim Capital Day, and Manal Safouri, who has chaired this event for the last, I think for six years or 7 years. We co-chaired the last couple of years. So I'd like to invite you guys up here just to say.
You don't have to invite me twice.
Or even once.
Yeah, or even once. Let's give a big round of applause for Azala for organizing this awesome event. I can tell you the first time we thought about organizing Muslim Capital Day in 2009 when we came up here, we had this idea that we wanted to bring Muslims to the state capitol so Muslims can get to know their lawmakers and lawmakers can get to know that, hey, there's Muslims within Florida. And it was well intended, and we're surprised at some of the opposition we received up front. At the time, there was a House Majority Leader named Adam Hasner who led the House Majority office here. And at the time, the St. Petersburg Times, Tampa Bay Times, somebody leaked to them an email that he had secretly sent to all these other lobbyists and activists across the state, sounding the alarm bell saying, hey, the Muslims are coming to Tallahassee, we have to stop them. And it was so ridiculous once you read that email. And in it, the paper said that he sent it mostly to Jewish leaders across the state. And he was sounding the alarm clock that we're coming up here to lobby about Israel and go after him personally because of a resolution that he had done about Israel, when our intention that year was just to come talk about education and jobs. But for some reason, Adam Hasner and his buddies thought that the Muslims don't belong in Tallahassee, that the Muslims only care about international issues, and the Muslims have no right to come up here to their house to speak about issues that they care about. Well, Adam Hasner was wrong. We had a very successful event that year. 300 people showed up, and more people, once they read that Adam Hasner does not want them up here, actually came in spite, just to tell them, this is our house, we're going to come to Tallahassee whenever we want, and we're going to continue coming back. So, let me tell you, in 2017, the Muslims are in Tallahassee. Adam Hasner is out of a job. He's not in Tallahassee. And we're going to continue coming back here for the next 100 years because we're part of the state. And we're only going to continue to grow. And Muslims are making this state an awesome place to be, just like other Floridians. We don't only care about our Muslim-only issues because Muslim issues are Florida issues, and Florida issues are Muslim issues. So congratulations on coming back up here. Maybe it's not the same numbers, but we're continuing the tradition. It's now a tradition. I see the signs all over the halls in the Senate, so that's very awesome. So thank you very much for having this, and keep going. Sorry.
Thank you. It's great. Is this working mic right here? It's a pleasure to be here, and congratulations on your hard work. It's fun to come and be more of a participant. Now, I'm here because it's also Gator Day. And one of the great things that we want to recognize as Muslims is I'm also here for criminal justice reform. And we as Muslims and members of this community, because we are part of the state, have issues that we care about, that we're passionate about, that we want to create change in. So it started really for myself, by being a Muslim Catholic, and it has branched into my own mission of creating some change. So again, I congratulate all of you, and I encourage you to stay active in the system, learn the process, and make a difference. Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, and from that year with Adam Hasner to this year, where we're seeing signs welcoming Florida Muslim Capital Day, I think we should all give a huge round of applause for our representatives who put up those signs for us. Thank you so much for making us feel so welcome and making us feel like we know we are part of Florida and we have a voice. But it's good to know that we're welcome and we do have a voice. So for recognizing that, thank you. And so in closing, I'd like to invite back Representative Robert Asensio to say a few words.
Thank you. So, in summary, what have we heard? We've heard unity. We've heard that you stand with our colleagues from the Senate, the House. We heard that this is your house, that we have a tradition. But all that does not matter unless those of you who see this, those of you who are not here, do not engage in what is most important, your vote. I implore you, the immigrant community, this extends beyond the Muslim community, all who are affected by the laws that my colleagues are speaking about, by the bills that my colleagues are speaking about, by the administrative decisions that my colleagues spoke about in Washington. We must stand opposed to those. And the way we do that is by exercising our voice, engaging with those who are representing us, and if we are not serving you, fire us, but exercise your vote. Thank you, and let's move on to the next effort.